Kristen and Crystal here from Crystal Clear Wellness. We met with everyone last week to talk a little bit about enjoying the small things in life, and we thought this week we would get into meditation.
Hi, guys.
So, Crystal, do you want to start us off with your thoughts around meditation, maybe your journey through how you got started with it?
Oh, for sure. So meditation for me is something that I often practice and try to practice daily in my day-to-day life now. I can honestly say that it has been a bumpy road from the, very beginning to how, I meditate now. For me, I have a very busy mind. So the idea of meditation was, very big in the beginning, and, something that I honestly didn't even think I would be able to do. My first, initial thoughts were, I can never stop my mind, thoughts are going to keep going along. And that's something that we hear often in, clients that we deal with a lot. When we bring up meditation, a lot of times we hear resistance to it, and a lot of people saying that, it's something that they haven't been able to do, or they try and they fall off. So we thought that this would be a really, good piece to kind of, maybe if somebody was starting a meditation practice, what they would, look for, how to get started.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's so many different ways to do meditation. I think that like you're saying, that word meditation itself is so big. Like, it seems to be such a task, but it is the practice of meditation. And I think that's what we need to remember, is that it is a constant practice. And no matter how long you've been practicing it, like, some days my monkey brain doesn't stop, and it's just something I need to figure out a different way for me to manage my meditation that day. And other days I could sit there for quite a while and do my meditation. So it really depends on where you're at in each day and time. And that it's not a competition. It's time for yourself, and it's time to just be able to be alone with yourself, and your thoughts are going to be there. They are going to pop in and out. But I think thinking of the different ways that you can do meditation. So a lot of the times we think of, sitting there and doing our little poses while we're doing meditation, which is totally great. Sometimes that works for me. Other times that's not the best position for me either. We've talked, Crystal and I, a little bit about different ways that we do meditation. And for me, sometimes it's those moments when you're on autopilot. Something like doing the dishes or doing cooking. I love those activities, but it's also a time for me to kind of clear my brain and not have anything else really going on, not focus on, okay, once I'm done this, I'm going to do this, this, and this. It's really just focusing on trying to get those thoughts out of my head and keeping with myself a little bit more. I know the shower is a huge one as well. Crystal, do you want to talk about that one?
Oh yeah, that's definitely one that I find I'm most successful with. I think it's that I envision, the water kind of as light, and, all of that negativity, maybe bad feelings, that sort of thing, going down the drain. And that's one of the first pieces that I found was very successful for me. And then that's, has definitely made it a lot easier for me daily with my meditation practice.
I think that's the big trick around meditation, especially when you're just starting and moving along, because we all have different days and where we're at different places, but it's being able to control your thoughts. I think that might be a very simple definition of meditation. The thoughts are going to come, but it's a matter of being able to say, you recognize them, you appreciate them coming in, and then you kind of put them aside and deal with them later. So I've talked about my little white box that I have, and that's just a visual that I do. So when I'm doing a meditation, I don't even know where this idea came from. I don't know if it was a practice I learned or if it was just something that popped into my head one day. But just thinking of this little white box sitting up here, that's just where my box sits. And then when I'm having my meditation moments, when thoughts come into my head, I'll recognize them, and I'll visually pull them from my third eye and put them in that box as a safe place to store them for later. Because I'm very much a planner and I want to know what's happening next. And so for me, that's what my brain does a lot is, well, you got to do this, this, and this, and you need these groceries, and you got to pick up Ella from here and go here, and then you got to make dinner. And so it's a matter of just kind of putting those things in that box and being like, okay, I'm having my meditation time. I'll think about you guys later. And that's been a really successful strategy for me to kind of manage that monkey brain and get those thoughts just pushed aside for a little bit.
Oh, I love that. Well, and then I think, another thing that was really important for me, and then that's something that, I think would benefit everybody else, is don't try so hard. That, just allow, and it doesn't have to be, like you were saying, that stereotypical place that you sit. It can be anywhere. It can be, 30 seconds. It could be a half an hour. It's, personal to you and your journey. And it's just going within yourself for small moments of time and just centering yourself. That's ultimately what meditation is.
Absolutely. And I think that's a huge piece that you just said there, is that small moment of time. I think that there's different ways to get started with guided meditation. Is something that Crystal and I both kind of use as our starting points. It's still something that I use regularly because I do enjoy it. I like a lot of the ones that they start you off guided and they give you like 2 or 3 minutes by yourself and then they pull you back. I like those ones a little bit. But timing, like take advantage of a minute or 2 minutes. I think celebrate those little successes and don't reach to start for a 30-minute meditation. After like a nice yoga practice, I could probably do a 30-minute meditation, but it takes me a long time to get into a space to be able to successfully do a long meditation like that. So I think those little pieces that you're saying, start small, start with, 2 minutes. Like that's a long time to sit quietly by yourself, especially when you're starting. So yeah, keep that in mind too, is just little increments of time and slowly you build up. It is a practice. It is an exercise that you need to do.
Well, yeah. And then, they say it's a practice. And obviously with any practice, you're going to get stronger and better at it. So, find within your daily routine what works best for you. One day it might be, in the morning. One day it might just be 2 minutes in the afternoon. And you know what? Forgive yourself if there isn't a moment in time throughout a day. It's just personal to you, and just keep trying.
And I think that's great. The other piece too is that breathing comes into this hugely. We haven't really talked about that a lot. So I'd like to jump into that quickly before we sign off here. But taking even, 3 deep breaths, that might be 30 seconds long. I would count that as a successful meditation, definitely. Just being able to breathe in, hold it for a second, and breathe out. Crystal, Jaden has a really cool technique that he likes to use.
He does. He calls it a relaxation technique, and it's something that really helps relax his body. So the way that he describes it is he will take a deep breath in, but when he's breathing out, he really makes sure that he breathes out longer than the breath that he had taken in. And if you do that, you can really see the difference in how much relaxation your body will feel with every time that you take that deep breath. Take a longer, deep breath out.
And just you can feel your body melt away when you do that. Like
yeah,
come down and I'll release all the tension in your face. Like it makes such a difference. But even 3 breaths, like when you're driving in the car or when you're, you go into the bathroom, maybe you take 3 breaths because you're by yourself in there and then you do what you need to do. But there's all those little moments that you can try and squeeze those pieces in. And I would think of that as a meditation practice too, is where you're working on your breathing. It's not going to take you 10 minutes a day, but it is something you're becoming more conscious of, is taking a couple breaths here and there when you get those moments.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. And then I think finally, don't be too self-conscious about it. Everything that you're doing is right. And, just relax and be kind to yourself.
Absolutely. I think that's the best advice that we could give you is that for sure. So it was nice seeing everyone today. Well, we didn't get to see you, but at least talking. And we'll be back next week with something new.
Perfect. It was nice seeing you guys. Nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you as well, Crystal. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. We look forward to next week, where we will be talking about different breathing techniques. See you then.